Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome to all the devotees to our today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 24, text number 73. Hare Krishna. Please repeat after me. Te vayam nodita sarve. Te vayam noditaha sarve. Praja sarge prajeshwaraha. Praja sarge prajeshwara. Anena dvasta tamasaha. Anena dvasta tamasaha. Sisrukshmo vividha praja. Sisrukshmo vividha praja. Te vayam nodita sarve. Praja sarge prajeshwara. Anena dvasta tamasaha. Sisrukshmo vividha prata. Praja. Te vayam nodita sarve. Sarge prajeshwara. Anena dvasta tamasaha. Sisrukshmo vividha praja. Te vayam nodita sarve. Praja sarge prajeshwara. Anena dvasta tamasa. Sisrukshmo vividha praja. Te vayam nodita sarge. Praja sarge prajeshwara. Dvasta tamasa. Sisrukshmo vividha praja. Word-to-word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Te, by him. Vayam, all of us. Nodita, ordered. Sarve, all. Praja sarge, at the time of creating population. Praja Ishvaraha, the controllers of all living entities. Anena, by this. Dvasta tamasaha, being freed from all kinds of ignorance. Sisrukshma, we created. Vividaha, various kinds of. Prajaha, living entities. Translation. When all the Prajapatis were ordered to create by Lord Brahma, we chanted these prayers in praise of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and became completely free from all ignorance. Thus, we were able to create different types of living entities. Purport. In this verse, we can understand that the various types of living entities were created simultaneously at the very beginning of the creation. The nonsensical Darwinian theory of evolution is not applicable here. It is not that intelligent human beings did not exist millions of years ago. On the contrary, it is understood that the most intelligent creature, Lord Brahma, was first created. Then Lord Brahma created other saintly sages like Marichi, Bhrigu, Atreya, Vasishtha and Lord Shiva. They, in their turn, created different types of bodies according to karma. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Kapiladeva told his mother, Devahuti, that the living entities gets a particular type of body in accordance with his work, and that this body is decided upon by higher authorities. The higher authorities as appointed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead are Lord Brahma, and all other Prajapatis and Manus. Thus, from the beginning of the creation, it can be seen that the first creature is the most intelligent. It is not that so-called modern intelligence has developed by the gradual process of evolution. As stated in Brahma Vaivarta Purana, there is a gradual evolutionary process, but it is not the body that evolving. All the bodily forms are already there. It is the spiritual entity or the spiritual spark within the body that is being promoted by the laws of nature under the supervision of superior authority. We can understand from this verse that from the very beginning of creation, different varieties of living entities were existing. It is not that some of them have become extinct. Everything is there. It is due to our lack of knowledge that we cannot see things in their proper perspective. In this verse, the word Dvasta Tamasaha is very important. For without being free of ignorance, one cannot control the creation of different types of living entities. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 31, Text number 1, Daiva Netrena. Bodies are awarded under the supervision of the supreme powers. How can these superior powers control the evolutionary process of the living entity if they are not free from all imperfection? The followers of the Vedic instructions cannot accept the Darwinian theory of evolution, for it is marred by imperfect knowledge. Hare Krishna. Welcome to all the devotees for today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. I would like to express the temple authorities and all the devotees for allowing me to render some small service. Able to hear? In yesterday and today's verse, Maitreya Rishi is telling that whatever prayers or the song of Lord Rudra Gita taught by Lord Shiva unto the 10 Prachetas was also spoken by Lord Brahma to Lord Shiva and the 4 Kumaras and all the other sons of Brahma, and especially Lord Shiva and Prajapatis, with an intention to continue the creation, progress the creation further and further. So, following the instructions, chanting these prayers, worshipping the Supreme Lord, personalities such as Lord Shiva, Vasishta, Bhrugu, Maitreya, Atri, Marichi, etc. All the great sages, all the Prajapatis have begotten children, and their children begot their children. Like that, from the beginning of the creation, the Srishti is going on. So in general, when we go to any traditional temple, there is something called as Archana. The Pujari asks us, what is your Gotra? The Gotra actually indicates the Prajapatis, the original sons of Brahma, from whom all the other living entities are born one after the other. So all the Prajapatis at the beginning of the creation, at the beginning of the day of Brahma, chanting these Rudra Gita prayers, have continued the process of creation. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada talks about, see, the creation is there from the very beginning, and especially the most intelligent people of this universe, such as Brahma, Shiva, the 4 Kumaras, and all the great sages such as Bhrugu Muni, Atri, Vasishta, they were all there at the very beginning of the creation. That means at the very beginning of the day of Brahma. And we hear in our textbooks that Darwin's theory of evolution, wherein Few thousand years back, there was no intelligence at all. People do not know what to do, how to do. Eventually, the intelligence has evolved, and now we see the most intelligent human being like that, they say. So, Prabhupada, from the beginning of the purport to the end of the purport, trying to inform us that the Darwin theory is not proper according to the scriptures. The scriptures say that everything was there, the most intelligent people were there at the beginning. The first great being is Brahma. He was the most topmost intelligent person. And all his followers also. If you see, within a day of Brahma, there are 14 Manvantaras, out of which 6 Manvantaras are completed, 7th one is going on. That means, since the time of 6 Manvantaras, the society is existing, living entities are existing, intelligence is there, everything is there. It is not a recent phenomena. So, in that way, it has been presented. And Srila Prabhupada is quoting one verse again and again. From 3rd canto, chapter 31. Karmana daivanetrena jantu dehopapadyate pravishta udaram shriya purushareta kanashriya. So, under the supervision of the devatas, pushed by one's karma, a living entity gets a particular body, enters into the womb of a mother, gets a body, takes birth, performs activities, leaves that body, enters into another body and performs activities, leaves that body. So the evolution which talked about in the modern science is the evolution of the body. But in the Vedic literatures, there is the evolution of consciousness, not the body. Because at the beginning of the creation only, Lord Brahma created all the bodies. It is not that from the monkey's body, the human body has been made up. The human body was there, monkey's body was there simultaneously at the beginning of the creation. Only the soul moving from one species to other species with the evolution of consciousness. That's what Prabhupada is trying to help us understand from this purport. So, this chapter is one of the important chapters in the Bhagavatam because there is nice glorification of Supreme Lord. From the beginning to the end of the prayers which Lord Shiva is teaching to the Prajatas, there is a continuous glorification of Supreme Lord. And also, there is a beautiful description of Lord's transcendental form. And why one should pray, what one should pray, and what is the purpose of the prayer. All such things are mentioned in this section known as Rudra Gita. Everything was there. So, we will not discuss the entire Rudra Gita, but what is the associated factors in relation to this Rudra Gita and what is the result of following this Rudra Gita. So, some points we will discuss in today's discussion. So, in the beginning of this chapter, it is said that as usual, Brahma, being the in charge of creation, he always instructed all his children, may you get married and beget children. Except the 4 Kumaras, all the other children of Brahma followed Brahma's instruction. So, that is like general procedure being carried out. Just like in the previous yesterday verse and today verse it is being said. Brahmaji told all of us to create children, so we were chanted this mantra and begot children, Lord Shiva is saying. So, similarly, what happened? In due course of time, in the lineage of Swayambhu Manvantara, in the 4th canto we saw that Swayambhu Manu had 2 children, Priyavrata, Uttanapada. Priyavrata remained in the ashram, Uttanapada became king. After Uttanapada, Dhruva ruled. After Dhruva, Utkala and many others ruled. Eventually, Anga, Vena, Prutu, and Prutu's son Antardana, and then few more sons. Eventually, there was a king known as Barishat, Prachina Barishat, who was always engaged in performing sacrifice after sacrifice. Just like Brahma instructed all his children to beget children, similarly, Prachina Barishat, who had 10 sons, who are known as Prachetas, he instructed them, please go and perform the worship of the Supreme Lord by undergoing some austerities, and then with the blessings of the Lord, may you beget children. That was the instruction of Prachina Bari to the 10 Prachetas. The 10 Prachetas, from the very birth, by nature, they are soft-hearted, very noble-minded and devoted to Supreme Lord and elders. So seeing all these good qualities, Lord Shiva on his own appeared while they were going to Western Ocean. As they were going towards west to the ocean in order to perform the sacrifices. In the midway, Lord Shiva himself appeared in front of them. Bhagavatam says that it is actually very difficult to have the audience of Lord Shiva. It is not that easy. Though we may hear that Lord Shiva is known as Ashutosh, he is very much easily pleased. 10th canto 88th chapter Bhagavatam says that Parishit Maharaj asked inquiry, my dear Sukadeva Goswami, why it is like this? Lord Shiva is poverty stricken. He stays in Smashan. But his devotees are wealthy. The devotees of Lord Shiva are wealthy. And Lord Vishnu is filthy rich. He is Lakshmipati. He is residing in the most opulent Vaikuntha. But Lord Vishnu's devotees are poverty stricken. Why it is like that? What is the reason? So, then, Sukadeva Goswami says that the devotees of Lord Vishnu want Lord, not the material opulences. So, they willingly want to remain poverty stricken. Okay? And the devotees of Lord Shiva, they approach Lord Shiva for material wealth. Lord Shiva is the husband of goddess Durga. Parvati is the next level. First level is he is the husband of goddess Durga. Goddess Durga is Maya Devi. Maya Devi has 3 modes: Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. And whatever we see all around us, including our body, gross body, subtle body, and everything, this home, this TV, this monitor, this microphone, everything, this book, it is a manifestation of 3 modes of material nature. Matter is a manifestation of 3 modes of material nature. The devotees of Lord Shiva comes to Lord Shiva asking for something material. Lord Shiva says, Lo, jao, idhar aao mat. When somebody comes to Lord Shiva asking for something material, which is the manifestation of Durga, whose husband is Lord Shiva, very easily gives, take. But is not pleased at the heart. Lord Shiva becomes really pleased with his devotee when they ask the lotus feet of Lord Vasudeva. Otherwise, when they come, he will give and tell them, go away, don't stay near to me. That's why he stays in Smashan. The people who want opulence does not stay in Smashan for a long time. So that's how Sukadeva Goswami says. So, people with material desires approach Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva, in order to stay away from them, very quickly gives them. And externally it appears that Lord Shiva is very much pleased with us. He has given everything that we want. But Lord Shiva becomes really pleased when he sees a devotee. When there is a devotee who has dedicated his life to serve the Lord, Lord Shiva comes on his own to take or to give his association to that devotee. We hear the example of Sanatana Goswami staying on the banks of Manasi Ganga, and he was troubled by the mosquitoes or makkis, whatever. When Sanatana Goswami wanted to leave that place, Lord Shiva told, please don't go. I want your association, stay here only. Something like that. And many other pastimes in Vrindavan are there. And here one such wonderful pastime is, these sons, though father ordered them to go and worship Lord Vishnu to beget children, they are going to worship Lord Vishnu for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu. By the way, they will also have children. They are actually devotees from the very core of the heart. So Lord Shiva was so much satisfied with them, he himself appeared in front of them. Then Prachetas, the 10 Prachetas, received Lord Shiva by offering obeisances and prayers and everything. Then Lord Shiva says that, I am very much satisfied with you because all of you are going to worship my Lord. my worshipable Lord. And I would like to tell you something, some process, following which you can quickly worship the Supreme Lord. You can quickly please the Supreme Lord. You can quickly have the audience of the Supreme Lord. So then he speaks this entire prayer called as Rudra Gita, in which he explains the purpose of serving the Supreme Lord, purpose of offering prayer to Supreme Lord, that is to purify our existence. And then he says that the purpose of serving the Supreme Lord is to have the audience of the Supreme Lord. Because all our endeavors culminate in having the audience of Supreme Lord. Mad Darshana Paramavadi. Whatever we do, whatever sadhana we perform, whatever endeavor we undertake, everything ends in having the audience of the Supreme Lord, having the opportunity to see and serve the Supreme Lord. So it is like that. So that with that intention, Lord Shiva says that Darshanam no didrukshunam dehi bhagavatarchitam rupam priyatamam svanam sarvendriya gunanjanam. He says that in the prayers, he says that, my dear Lord, I am offering these prayers with the intention to have the darshan of your audience. Basically, the darshan of your transcendental form. What kind of form? Rupam Priyatamam Swanam. That form which is very much liked by your dearmost devotee. Priyatamam Swanam, your dearmost devotee. And then, what is the specialty of that form? Sarva Indriya Guna Anjanam. There are two meanings to this line. One is, that form is endowed with all senses. He is not Nirakari, he is not Nirvishesha, he is not Nirguna. He has all the senses and he has all the qualities. Sarva Indriya, Sarva Guna Anjanam. He is endowed with all senses and all wonderful qualities. He is not impersonal. And second thing, Sarvendriya Gunanjana means he is the object of our vision. Our eyes will attain perfection when we see the form of the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, the purpose of eyes will never be fulfilled. Something like that. So then, he continues to say something very interesting. So why one should worship Lord Vishnu? What is the speciality of the worship of Lord Vishnu? In one verse, he says that, so this is, of course, this verse has got multiple meanings. Different acharyas have taken this verse in order to explain different meanings. So, what is the verse number? That is Swadharma Nishta Shatajanmami Puman Virinchitameti Tata Paramihimam. So in this verse, Lord Shiva is telling that one who follows Swadharma, one's prescribed duties with full Nishta for 100 lifetimes, okay, he will attain the position of Lord Brahma. Swadharma Nishta Shatajanma Bhi Puman. Any human being following the principles of Swadharma for 100 lifetimes will attain the position of Lord Brahma. This is text number 29. Okay? And then, if someone who does little more sadhana will attain my abode. But those who worship Lord Vishnu will attain Vaikunta. Okay. Now, let us stop here. Let us discuss the meaning later on. But in Brahma Samhita, there is one verse. All of you remember? Devi Mahesha Haridama Suteshu Teshu. What is the meaning of that? There is Devi Dham. Superior to that there is Mahesh Dham. Superior to that there is Haridam. And superior to that there is Golokodam. That will be mentioned next two lines. And what is the topmost position within the Devidam? Brahma's abode, Satyaloka. Of the 14 planetary systems, the topmost position is Brahma's abode. If somebody want to attain the Brahma's abode, not only Brahma's abode, Brahma's position, this is the process. If somebody want to become Indra, one need to perform 100 Ashwamedha sacrifices. One will become Indra. And if one want to become Brahma, one need to perform Varnashrama duties as an offering to Supreme Lord. Varnashrama acharvata pumsha purushena parapuman Vishnur aradyate panta na anyat tattosha karanam. There is no other reason other than worshipping Lord Vishnu to perform Varnashram duties. If one executes Varnashram duties as an offering to Supreme Lord Vishnu, for 100 lifetimes one becomes Brahma, which is the topmost position within Devidam. And superior to Devidam is Mahesh Dham. Technically, Mahesh Dham is the abode of Brahman. Brahma Jyoti naam suna hai na? Brahma Jyoti, the place where Sadashiva resides. Mahesh Dham means Brahma Jyoti. If somebody practices little more than this, they attain Brahman. The process recommended here is one need to practice Nishkama Karma Yoga, followed by Jnana Yoga, followed by Ashtanga Yoga, followed by Bhakti Yoga. Then one will attain Sayujya Mukti. That is attaining Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is saying. But on the other hand, if one practices Bhakti, okay, and worships Lord Vishnu, one will attain a abode which is superior to the abode of Mahesh. That is Brahman. What is superior to Brahman? Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha Dham. He says the same thing. By worshipping Lord Vishnu with Bhakti, consisting of Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam, one will attain the abode of Lord Vishnu. This is the gradual progression. The topmost position Devidam, then Mahesh Dham, then Haridham. The process has been indicated. Now Lord Shiva says in the last line, no. Avyakrutam Bhagavatota Vaishnavam. The Vaishnavas, by worshipping the Bhagavan, they will attain Vaikuntha. This is fine. He says that Padam Yata Aham Vibhuda Kalatyaye. Padam Yata Aham. Just like I am also staying in Vaikuntha in a different form. Lord Shiva is staying in Maheshadama Sadashiva. He is staying within our universe as Shankar Bhagavan. He is also staying in Vaikuntha in a different form. Name is not given. He is also staying in Vaikuntha. Padam Yata Aham. Just like I am residing in Vaikuntha, like that those who practice Bhakti will also come to Vaikuntha and reside in Vaikuntha. And then, not only me and those who practice Bhakti, even Vibhuda Kalatyaye, all the devatas such as Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, after completing their tenure of serving the Lord, they will also come to Vaikuntha and reside in Vaikuntha along with me. It is said in the second canto, 9th chapter, that Chatushloki Bhagavatam section is there, na? In that section, at one point of time, it is said that all these devatas, after completing their tenure serving the Lord, they will all go back home back to Godhead. Yavad adhikaram adhikarika tamam padam gacchati. As long as their tenure is there, for example, for main devatas, their tenure is for 1 manvantara time period. Afterward, they will all go back to Godhead. Lord Brahma, after completing his lifespan of 100 years, he will go back to Godhead. Like that, any devata who is wholeheartedly serving the Supreme Lord, after completing their tenure, they will go back to Godhead. So this is the procedure. Different people follow different processes to attain different destinations. And the best is attaining Vaikuntha. That's what Lord Shiva says here. So like that, he will say many other things, and at the end now he is telling that this poem is called, of course we call it as Rudra Gita, whatever it is. He said that this poem was originally spoken by Lord Brahma to all of us with an intention to beget children. We have followed the instructions given by Lord Brahma and chanted this prayer and worship Lord Vishnu. As a result of that, we have begotten so many wonderful souls who are devotees of the Supreme Lord. That was his point at this section. In tomorrow's verse, it will be said that by offering the same prayers, anyone can attain the highest perfection. What is the highest perfection? Going back home back to Godhead. So in that sense, attaining Krishna Prema and going back home back to Godhead. Of course, this is a process can be used all different ways of serving the Supreme Lord. So in that way. Later on in the Bhagavatam, we'll read that it is I think from 8th canto. At one point of time, Bali Maharaj, the leader of the Asuras, conquered Indra. And Indra fled away from heaven without any place. He was moving here and there. Aditi became so much concerned about Indra. She approached her husband, requested that please tell me something. Doing that, I can help my sons to regain their position. So Kashyapa says some things, but at the end he says that I'll tell you something, some process, some vrata. It is known as Payo Vrata, not Pumshavana. This is Payo Vrata. This is a special process of worshipping Lord Vishnu, which was told by Lord Brahma to all of us. In order, at the beginning of the creation, in order to beget children, beget wonderful devotee children. Same way, I will tell you the Payavrata, the process of Payavrata, following which you will also get the fulfillment of your desire, that your children regaining their position. Then he teaches Payavrata. So Mother Aditi followed Payavrata. As a result of that, what happened? The Supreme Lord himself appeared as the son of Aditi. There. And here, having instructed thus by Lord Shiva, Prachetas go to ocean. They enter deep within the water. Chanting this prayer, they performed austerity for 10,000 years, not one day, 2 days. These are from Satyayuga. Their lifespan is 1 lakh years. So they can happily perform austerities for 10,000 years. So they performed austerities for 10,000 years. As a result of that, what happened? Lord Vishnu appeared in front of them. Just like when Mother Aditi performed Payavrata, Lord Vishnu appeared in front of her and eventually entered into her womb and appeared as her son. Here, Lord Vishnu appeared in front of the 10 Prajatas and he said that, first of all he said one thing, I am actually very much pleased with your mutual affection. 10 brothers having mutual affection to each of them is not an ordinary thing. It is very difficult to see such kind of thing. They are one Atma in 10 bodies, like that. They are very much closely connected. It is called Samadharma Shila. They are all called as Samadharma Shila. They are all of the same nature. They all have same attraction, attachment towards Dharma. So in that way. And Lord said that I am very much satisfied with your friendly disposition towards each other. You ask for whatever you want, I will give you. But before that, I will tell you one thing. All of you came here following the order of your father. You have great respect for your elders also. So, I will arrange for your marriage so that your father's desire can be fulfilled. Father ka instruction should be fulfilled. So, for that, I will arrange for your marriage. He says that, Lord Vishnu says that there was a sage known as Kandu. Through Pramlocha, Apsara, Kandu Muni begot his daughter. Her name is Pramlocha. And she was taken care by the trees. And all 10 of you brothers marry her. In the history, there are only 3 examples of polyandry. One woman having many husbands. There are innumerable examples of one man having many wives. But one woman having many husbands, only 3 examples are there. First one is Swada, the 15th daughter of Daksha Prajapati. She married 4 Pitrus, 4 Pitru brothers. This happened during Swayambhu Mantra at the beginning of the creation. Okay? And now, 10 Prachetas are going to marry Pramlocha. That is second example. Third one is recent, as Prabhuji mentioned. Draupadi married 5 Pandavas. Only there are 3 examples of polyandry. There are no 4th example. It is very difficult. Few brothers staying together with one purpose in life, very difficult. And that too having a common wife, very, very difficult. So, Lord himself arranged their marriage. See what kind of friendly disposition they must be having. And interesting thing is that all of us studied Mahabharata. The 5 Pandavas had one son each from Draupadi. And these 10 Prachetas had only one son through Pramlocha. They did not have 10 sons. They had only one son. And Lord Vishnu tells, say that also. And you will have one son through her with the most powerful personality, who is as powerful as Lord Brahma. And he will populate the entire universe with different living entities. That was Daksha. Daksha, whose head has been cut off during Daksha Yajna, eventually Lord Shiva joined goat head to Daksha. But Daksha was not happy with that condition. Previously he was most beautiful looking personality. Now he has become goat headed personality. It was not so beautiful thing. So he could not live for a long time. He died in due course of time. Then he was born as the son of Prachetas through Pramlocha. So the same Daksha appeared again as their son. So it is said like that. So Lord tells all these things. Lord is arranging somebody's marriage. Same thing happened with Kardamuni also. Kardamuni, the son of Brahma, Brahma told Kardamuni same thing. Please worship Lord Vishnu in order to beget children. Both Kardamuni and the 10 Prachetas, they worshipped Lord Vishnu not only just to beget children, but they worship Lord Vishnu because they are supposed to worship Lord Vishnu. For both, even there, Lord told that 2 days later, Swayambhu Manu will come with his daughter and marry her. You will have 9 daughters and I myself will become your son. And there Lord told, more than that, I will give you pure devotional service. Here for Prachetas also, he is telling that, even though you may rule over this Bhumandala for 10,000, many thousands of years, but you will always have devotion towards me. Eventually, after ruling over the Bhumandala, you will come to my abode without any disturbance. Lord himself predicts everything what is going to happen in the future for the people like this, Kardama Muni and Prachetas. And just few minutes, we'll close our discussion, discussing couple of prayers. One point. So, last time when I came, I brought some books. One book was, Bhagavatam as Seeker Journey. So, in that book, there was a discussion about devotees in different categories. Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, in teachings of Lord Kapila says that there are people practice bhakti in the mode of ignorance, people practice bhakti in the mode of goodness, the passion, in goodness, in pure goodness. The example of a devotee who practices bhakti in the mode of ignorance is Daksha Prajapati, the beginning of the 4th canto. The example of a devotee who practices bhakti, who begins bhakti in the mode of passion is Dhruva Maharaj. The example of a devotee who begins bhakti or who practices bhakti in the mode of goodness is Prithu Maharaj. And who is the example of a devotee who practices bhakti in pure goodness? From 4th canto. Don't go to 7th canto. What is it in the third canto will be explained in the fourth canto only. Why seventh canto? Prachetas and Lord Shiva and Narada Muni. These three were given as examples of devotees who practice bhakti in the mode of pure goodness. Why? The prayers are evident. The prayers offered by the Prachetas are evident of their pure goodness. Just like Prahlad Maharaj, who said when Lord Narasimha visited to offer blessings, he said, "My dear Lord, you think that I am a businessman? You are trying to tempt me with offering blessings? I don't want anything. I am satisfied by serving you. May you be satisfied by accepting my service. Don't be disturbed," something like that. So here Pracheta say that we are actually satisfied by your darshan. More than that, we are satisfied by that you are satisfied with us. We are satisfied by your satisfaction. We don't want anything else. If at all you want to give us something, please give us this. What is that? Huh? No. Give us your lotus feet. They say that Parijat Anjase Labda Saranga Anyonya Sevate Twadangri Mula Masadya Sakshat Kim Vrinimahi. He said that the honeybee for searching after nectar goes here and there. But when it comes to a Parijata tree, which has unlimited flowers, and every flower has huge quantity of nectar, why would the honeybee would go to some other plant, some other flower? Parijasa Anjasa Labda, having easily attained a Parijata tree, why would a honeybee would go here and there? Similarly, we want to have your lotus feet. Having attained that, we don't have to look here and there. The purpose of our life is fulfilled. If at all you want to give us something, please give that. Nothing else. Don't tempt us giving this, giving that, and all the opulences in this world. We don't want all those things. Then he says that, why you are asking my lotus feet? What is the specialty of my lotus feet? Because at your lotus feet, the pure devotees reside. At the lotus feet of the Lord, the pure devotees reside. When we get your lotus feet, we get the association of pure devotees. They say that if we are not qualified to get your lotus feet now, if we are supposed to take birth, so many births in this material world, no problem. But please give us one thing. What is that? Yavatte maya sprushta brahmama hya karmabi tavat bhavat prasanganam sangasyanno bhave. No problem. If you are not ready to give your lotus feet, fine, you keep with you. But if you are supposed to take birth again and again in this material world, let us take birth for millions of lifetimes. But keep us in the association of your devotees. Tavat bhavat prasanganam. Sangha is association. Prasanga means very close association. Kiske saath? Bhavat prasanganam. Your dearmost devotees. Sangasyano bhave. Life after life, keep us at that place. Hey, what is so special about devotees? Why you want devotees? Why don't you ask for sarga and liberation apavarga? You can get intense bliss. They say that Tulayema lave napi na swargam na pumal bhavam Bhagavad Sangi Sangasya Kim Martyanam Kimutashisha. You can't compare the association of devotees neither to Swarga nor to Apavarga. That means neither to the happiness of Swarga nor to the happiness of Brahman. Then what to speak of the happiness in the Bhuloka? You can't even compare this. Still Lord asks, Haisa kaise? What is the speciality of the association of devotees? How are you saying that? Then they say, Yatredyante krata mrushtra trushnaya prashamo yata nirvaira yatra bhuteshu na udvego yatra kaschana. It says that it is only in the association of devotees your lotus feet are continuously worshipped. If you are not willing to give your lotus feet, The other way to get your lotus feet is stay in the association of devotees. Because they continuously worship your lotus feet. How? By constantly discussing Krishna Katha. Yatra idyante katha mrushta. The devotees constantly worship your lotus feet by discussing about your lotus feet. By hearing about it, we get it. Not other way. And what are the benefits, other benefits of that hearing Krishna Katha or hearing about Lord's lotus feet? Trishnaya prashamo yata. Shama means to control. Prashama means to completely control. What? Trishna. Trishna means desire. Ichha. The material desires are completely controlled or completely wiped off when one hears Krishna Katha in the association of devotees. First benefit. Why? In every Bhagavatam class, either Prabhupada writes or the speaker says, the material world is temporary. The material world is called Dukkha Alaya Mahashashutam. The spiritual world is Satchidananda abode. So like that when we hear, at least for the time period of the Bhagavatam class, we understand that, oh, what is the use of endeavoring so much for this material happiness? Let us go back to Godhead. At least for the duration of the class. If the class goes on always, that thought process will go on always. And the second, Trishnaya Prasamohita, first one. And second one, Nirvaira Yatra Bhuteshu. Normally, in outside, we always treat, ye mera friend hai, ye mera dushman hai. Friend, enemy, friend, enemy, friend, enemy. But in the Bhagavatam class, what we hear? Mamai Vamsho, Jiva Loka, Jiva Bhuta, Sanatana. Jivera Sarupai, Krishnera Nityadas. We need to stay in the association of devotee, something like that. At least during the Bhagavatam class, do we feel envious feeling towards anybody? And it also said that not only human beings, all the living entities are children of the Supreme Lord. That Vaira will be removed away. At least during the Bhagavatam class. And finally, Na Udvego Etra Kashana. We may have so many difficulties in our life. There is so much Udvega, so much lamentation, so much fear, what is going to happen, this, that. But when the Bhagavatam class is going on, when we hear that, Sarva Karana Karanam, Krishna is the ultimate cause. He says that, Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, Aham Tam Sarva Papebhyo Moksha Ichchami Masucha, do not lament. I will take care of you. I am here to take care of you. And then Yoga Kshemam Vahamiham. When we hear that, what happens? Okay. हमारा भगवान जो भी होगा देखभाल करेंगे, उनके ऊपर भरोसा रखेंगे हम. This is the benefit of association of devotees, wherein the discussion of Krishna Katha is going on continuously. They say that Sangasya Anno Bhave Bhave. Give us again and again, again and again, again and again. And finally they say that just by having a momentary association with Lord Shiva, we had your darshan now. If we have long association of such devotees, what we get? Can we imagine? Therefore, give us the association of devotees continuously. Hare Krishna. This is the symptom of pure devotional service. So that's why Prachitas are taken as an example of pure, devotee in the mode of pure goodness, something like that. This is only just to inspire us. It is not that others are less and they are more. All of them are wonderful devotees. But just to take inspiration, what kind of mode with which they approach the Supreme Lord. Just to give us an indication of that categorization has been indicated. Hare Krishna. Some thoughts which are there in my heart, I just repeated in small time. Thank you very much. Yes, Purush. Yes, Prabhu. There is only one Sadashiva. That one Sadashiva expands into 11 Rudras and enters into each universe. That means in every universe there are 11 Rudras at 11 different places. Okay? So of the 11 there is one personality who is known as Shankar Bhagavan, who is there in the upper Himalayas. He is the husband of Mother Parvati. He is the father of Kartikeya as well as Ganeshji. And about him we generally hear. They are expansions of Sadashiva. Expansions of Sadashiva, yes. Only one, yes. He stays in Brahman. As we discussed, na? Tata Paramahima means Sadashiva stays in Brahman. Maheshdam. Maheshdam. So that is Brahman, that is Sadashiva. Yes, please. Okay? Yes, Proj. Little louder. Ah. Mm. Ah. In Swarga, there are two category of people. From Bharata Varsha, from Bhuloka, when somebody performs pious activities such as Yajna, Dana, Tapa, Vrata, Ityadi, etc., as they accumulate piety, as a result of their piety, they are promoted to Swargaloka. So, as much punya they have, that much time they stay in Swargaloka. They are only visiting residents of Swargaloka. Huh? As soon as their piety is over, they will come down to Bharatavarsha, Bhuloka and Bharatavarsha. These people are, they keep going on up and down. Okay? These are only visitors. But the original residents of Sarkaloka, the three core devatas, who are responsible for the management of the entire universe, such as Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, Agni, and Ashwini devatas, all these people, they are actually, they are there in the heaven for one Manvantara time period, maintaining the entire universe. Just like we have 5 years constitution, the ministry is there for 5 years. The next, after 5 years, they will change. So like that, the universal management system has duration of one Manvantara, which is for 71 Chaturyugas. So managing the universe means serving the Lord. For example, I'll give you a simple example. Here we have the temple. There is a management body of this temple. They are practicing devotees. Simultaneously, they are also managing the temple activities. We have temple president, festival coordination committee, finance committee, this department, DD department, kitchen department, like there's so many services they are doing. All these services are bhakti only. Like that, at the universal level, Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu are also doing some service in order to manage a temple of the universe. They themselves practicing bhakti and also looking after the maintenance of the entire temple of the universe. Then they will go back to Godhead after the duration is over. Unless until they want to stay back. So that's it. So both are reconciled in that sense. Any other devotees have any question? It is between the material lokas, the material universes, and the spiritual universes. We say the Ekapad Vibhuti, Tripad Vibhuti. ये दोनों के बीच में है विरजा नदी. This side spiritual world, this side material world, in between Viraja Nadi. And above Viraja Nadi is Brahman. That is all Brahman. In that Brahman, on one side we have Mahavishnu, on the other side we have Sadashiva. Both of them stay in Brahman. No, he is a person. No, you don't go. Brahman is there, na? Is there only. The understanding is that you been to Jagannath Puri? Jagannath Ji is there. Pawaneshwar mein? Lingaraj is there. If you go to Vrindavan, Madura, Vrindavan, Nandagaon, everywhere, there is one Lord Shiva's temple is there. If you go to Tirumala also, we have Lord Shiva's temple next to our ISKCON temple, Kapileshwar Mahadev. Like that, wherever Lord Vishnu's abode is there, at the beginning of that abode, we have Lord Shiva's abode. He acts as a Dham Rakshak, Kshetrapal, Dham Rakshak. Like that, before entering into Vaikunta, at the entry of Vaikunta, we have Sadashiva. It is the Dham Rakshak of Vaikunta. So like that we can understand. He is in Kadal Ocean. So in the Kadal Ocean, this side, all the material universe are floating. And the other side of the Kadal Ocean is spiritual world. On the surface of the Kadal Ocean, Mahavishnu is floating. And above him, the atmosphere is there, that is all Brahman. So in that way. Yeah. No, not in the ocean. Nothing is inside the ocean. Not planets, the Brahmandas, the universe are floating in the Kadal ocean. Hmm. Uh, so that same area, the place where this Viraja river is there, adjacent to that is Brahman, in which both Mahavishnu as well as Sadashiva resides. So in that way. अब सदाशिव है तो अपना पत्नी के साथ रहेगा ना. That one Durga only expands as all Durgas. 11 Rudras are there na. 11 Rudras अपना अपना पत्नी रहते हैं. So and she herself expands in every village of Grama Devata. All the Grama Devata are expansion of Durga only. So it's like that. Yeah. Yeah. Many forms. They are all expansions of Mahamaya. Shambhu himself is called as Mahakala Purusha. That is Sadashiva. Shambhu, Mahakala Purusha, Sadashiva, three are one person only, three names. Not Shambhu. That glance is not Shambhu. That glance has a Kala. That Kala is Shambhu. The Kala potency is Shambhu or Mahakala Purusha or Sadashiva. And the Durga is Maya, Mahamaya. So in that way. Both of them stay there. Just like Lord Karundaksha Vishnu stays along with Mother Lakshmi, Sadashiva stays with Mother Durga. So हमेशा साथ में रहते. He is neither completely Vishnu Tattva nor completely Jiva Tattva. He is just in between. Kshiram yatadadi vikara vishesha yogat. Sanjayate naitata prutagasti yetu. The milk transforms into curd na, like that. He is almost Vishnu Tattva. But is not Vishnu Tattva completely. Is a in between. The Sadashiva, when he comes into this material world to assist Kshirodaksha Vishnu in order to maintain the universe, he manifests from the Brukuti of Brahmaji. Just like Lord Rama appears from the womb of Kausalya Devi. Lord Krishna appears from the womb of Devaki as well as Yashodamai. Like that, Sadashiva appears from the Brukuti of Brahmaji at the beginning of the creation. Same Sadashiva again appears as the 11 Rudras from the Brukuti of Sankarshana at the end of the day of Brahma in order to destroy the entire universe. So it's like that. It is like they are appearing through the Vaya medium. So when he appears from the Brukuti of Brahma, he is known as Rudra. 11 Rudras. They are the 11 Rudras. Of the 11, one is Lord Shiva, who is there in the Himalayas, about whom we generally hear from Ramayana, Mahabharata and Bhagavatam. All these pastimes are about him. The one who comes from the Brukuti of Brahma is 11 Rudras. And the 11 of them are staying at 11 different places in our universe. One is staying in Tapaloka, one is staying in Vitaloka, one is staying in Ilavrata Varsha, one is staying in Greater Himalayas. And remaining 7 are staying in the Svargaloka. So in that way. There are 11 Rudras. The 11 appeared from Brahmaji actually. When appears from Brahma, we see one person only. But eventually he expands to 11 and stays at 11 places. All the 11. That we don't know. What is happening within our universe, that much only we know. Or दूसरा Brahma, बाकी वो वहाँ कहीं कहाँ होता, that we don't know. What is happening there? There may be 12 Rudras, 30 Rudras in the other universes. If the universe is big, there could be many Rudras also. But in our universe, we have only 11 Rudras. Something like that. Okay? It's 9:30. I'm sorry. But anyway, thank you very much for this opportunity. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti.